I'm with Brett Lobster, the head of WeChat Africa. Tonight we're launching the WeChat Wallet. Brett, why don't you tell us exactly what the WeChat Wallet is?
Well, we've tried very hard to create a wallet product that emulates a real-world wallet. So it's an environment within WeChat where you can load your credit cards, debit cards. You can also top up and have a cash balance. And then you can do really interesting things with those. So we've integrated with the SnapScan network, and they're an amazing company that has rolled out over 20,000 merchants where you just scan a QR code at the merchant to pay them. So in our framework, you can pay either by credit card, debit card, or the cash balance. And with the cash balance, you can do person-to-person money send. We also have airtime and electricity that you can buy for prepaid directly in the app. And then once money has been sent from person to person, you can cash out at an ATM. And I think it's a pretty comprehensive product, and we tried very hard to get as close to a real-world money experience as possible, but just from your phone.
Now you mentioned SnapScan. Tell me how you worked with SnapScan.
It was one of the most interesting things for me because the way WeChat works in other markets is also to use QR codes for online to offline payment processing. And we saw SnapScan as the guys who were furthest ahead in the South African market, and so we approached them and said, would they be keen to work with us? And they were, and this is the result. So we're very happy with where we're at.
So this isn't meant to be a competitor to SnapScan?
No, we're completely interoperable, so their application keeps working. We just are also able to process payments at their retailers and merchants.
Now we're starting to see a lot of mobile payment solutions, especially heading into 2016. Of course, overseas, Apple and Google Pay are going to be big players in 2016. When they eventually come to South Africa, how is WeChat Wallet, how does it compare with those two solutions?
I think the most important component of that is that if you look at the mobile money landscape in Africa, we're really way ahead of the curve. Almost all mobile money solutions or mobile phone-driven payment solutions out of first world countries like USA and Europe and so on, they're 100% credit card focused. You have to have a bank account in order to use them. And these are fundamental differences from what we offer. There's still a large component of people in Africa who are unbanked, and our product it's a usable product for those people. And I think it's a major differentiator. There are also some behaviors that exist in South Africa and other countries in Africa where people are very familiar with this idea of remittance, sending money from person to person. So for us, it's about skinning that and creating a really compelling user experience around that and adding some enhancements which improve the experience.
Now we've just talked about Apple and Google Pay, and you mentioned the African mobile payment solutions. When it comes to M-Pesa, how do the two products compare?
M-Pesa is a virtual currency. We tried very hard to make sure that our currency is a real currency. So the cash balance in your WeChat wallet is represented as Rand. And I think that's a fundamental difference because people understand what their local currency is for. When you see an item and you want to buy it and that cup of coffee is going to cost you 15 Rand, you're paying 15 Rand from your wallet. So I think the M-Pesa story in Kenya is an amazing story, and there are many lessons for all of us in terms of what is possible when you grow a mobile money network very, very quickly. But I think because of the M-Pesa story, regulation has caught up very quickly, and for us the right route to market was to represent real money in our wallet.
Now you mentioned that with the WeChat Wallet you don't need a bank account, which I think is the real differentiator, the real selling point here. How are people able to get money out of their WeChat Wallet if they don't have a bank account?
So we've got partnerships with retail partners, and at those retailers you can just go up to the pay point, generate a code, and they'll give you money out of the till, or Standard Bank ATMs. So we generate a PIN code and a voucher code directly in the app. Walk up to an ATM, select the cardless cash out option, input your numbers, and you get your cash out the machine.
Incredible. Now the one problem for me here tonight is that I'm Canadian. I don't have a South African ID number and I wasn't able to use the wallet. Is that something you're going to look at changing?
So for launch, we can't do that, unfortunately. I mean, we're working with the bank and there are specific regulations around how these accounts need to be set up. But we want this to be accessible and usable to as many people as possible. So it's definitely something we'll work on in the future to make it more accessible, but no promises on timelines.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.